So on my journey, on my spiritual journey, I have run into a very devious trap sent by the ego. And this trap has kept me in the same spot and prevented me from spiritual growth. This is extremely common in a lot of people, so don't miss out on this trap that the ego has waiting for you. Know it before it happens and know how to overcome it. So, on my journey throughout the years, the past 10 years on the spiritual venture that I've been on, I have grown in ways that I cannot even begin to describe to you. But there has been one main hindrance to my growth throughout the years. And that growth, that hindrance, surprises me every single time. I'm someone that likes to go deep in meditation, deep in understanding what the spiritual realm wants to offer me, what my creator wants to offer me and involve me in. One of the biggest roadblocks that I've come into is putting my creator in a box. Now, picture a box and picture the whole vastness of the universe. Now try to fit that vastness into a small box. That's what I've done in the past, and I don't even know that I'm doing it. I don't have awareness around it until I get it pointed out to me by my mentors or people that I hold very close to me who is on a similar journey as me. This box shows up in various different ways. One of the main ways it shows up is where I believe for a fact that I have arrived. I have gone to the place and met my creator in its wholeness, and that is what the creator is. And by doing this, what I'm doing is shutting out other aspects of the creator in its forms. Let me put an example to you. So I got lost into the new age crystals and frequencies and all of that. I got lost in that, and I was so certain that this was what the spiritual realm had in store for me. And what I did was, any other spiritual teaching outside of this new age movement was completely wrong. It was not something that I would even listen to, because I knew what spirit was. I knew what source was. And that blocked me off. It basically put my spiritual development into a box and capped me off to a point where everything else was wrong and I was the right one. And this was not because I wasn't spiritual. It was because my ego was developing as I was growing spiritually. Imagine two parallel lines. On one side is my spiritual path. On the other side is my ego, my identity. And the more I grow spiritually, the more my ego develops with me. And so there's this idea of contrast, duality. The more I grow spiritually, the more my mind is gonna play tricks on me and find out back doors and different avenues to approach me so it can suck me back into a place of stagnation where I can't grow because I have already found what I was looking for. And so the trap that the ego sets is that when I arrive somewhere, that is the place that I was meant to be, and I will always need to be there. And this puts extreme limitations on me. It puts extreme limitations on other people. What I have found through my exploration and my journey in my spiritual development is that the second I believe that I have found the answers and I stop asking more questions, that is the place where my ego dwells in the shadows and pounces on me. When that happens, I become stagnant. And not only that, is I believe that I am the all-powerful, I am the creator, I am God, I am source. Now, I believe that I am a part of source and spirit runs through me. And with that, I am able to use my co-creatorship to create this reality, to create a path for me, and hopefully guide other people to understanding that and divulging that inheritance within them as well. But sometimes I get to a place where I forget that I'm only a conduit of that source, and that I begin to identify myself as that cosmic energy, as that cosmic mind, and that inherently is a place where my ego can begin to form these blocks and these blockages. Now, I'm a person of intellect, and I do like to understand things in their completeness, in their wholeness. In my path as a truth seeker to find truth in spirituality, the more I define what spirit is and what God is, the more I create a box to fit it in. Because how can I describe in my finite mind something so infinite and so vast where I can't even, as a human, cannot even begin to express the wholeness of that creator? So if we put me or you into perspective according to the universe, in its vastness, we are not even a atom size compared to this all creation, all this universe. We are just a little tiny, not even a grain of sand. So it is beyond my capability to know what God is, or how it is, or anything in that regard. The best that I can do is experience the power that my Creator has blessed me with, and the power of spirit through experience and through the now. I cannot put into words and describe what it is, because the second I do that, I begin to put limitations on its power. I begin to put limitations on my relationship with it. And so to combat this last trick that the ego has on us, the last trick that the ego has on me, has on you, is to stop trying to define that which is everything. If I stop trying to define that which is everything, then it is that. It is everything. It's so expansive and limitless. But when I start using words to try to describe this all-being source, is the second that I start to limit its power, because I'm confining it to the finite language that I can produce. And I believe this is a huge problem within humanity, is that everyone has a different way of describing what their relationship to God is, or what God is. And the big problem is that we can't agree on what it is. And it's because we all have different perspectives, different experiences, different perceptions, which is who we are. We are just expressions of this larger spirit. And who am I to say that one person's view or one person's experience with that creator is wrong or right? I have no business saying that, because I don't even know. I can only translate my experiences the best that I can, limited by the human language. God is not something to be described or put into a box. God is something to experience, something that we all should experience. And the more unity that we have with that, the more powerful it becomes, the more powerful God becomes as far as our human experience. So don't let your ego trap you in this false idea of who or what God is, because you can't describe it, not in its fullness, not in its whole capacity. I am this big, and God is way bigger than I can even describe with my human body. The last trick that the ego has is to confine me into this idea where I can describe God and put it in a box. And when I realize that, when I can let that go, when I can set my own thoughts and my own beliefs free of what God is and what source is the second that I can experience limitless power, experience even 5% of what this source is. And I would absolutely encourage you to really look at how this has related to you in your life. And I'm going to reach roadblocks in the way. I'm going to reach bumps. And there's going to be times and experiences where I believe to my full heart, my fullness of my human being, that I know exactly what my Creator is. But the second I know exactly what my Creator is, what my higher power is, what my God is, what source is the second I become that in my limited form. And I limit its power. And I sell myself short, and I hinder my ability to experience fully through my sixth sense the love, joy, and happiness that I can experience and help other people to experience. So don't let your ego trick you into believing that you know exactly what limitless God is with a limited mind. I love y'all. Remember to love yourselves.